Even though it's hot, I always say heat is a mindset. It's all mental. I tell everybody, I'm like, whenever you step outside, all you gotta tell yourself is, I wish it were hotter.
Welcome to the Beverage Club podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Hayes, and today we're in Chandler, Arizona. Oh my God, bro. Today we're in Chandler, Arizona, where just 2 minutes ago it was 107 degrees, and then the light went down. Now we're, chilled out a little bit. I know I probably got some sweat stains somewhere on this shirt, but whatever. We're here in Chandler with my boy, Jice. He runs AZ East Valley Eats, and he's been blowing it up here in Arizona.
Thank you. Yeah. You can call me Jice, though. That's ever since we came to Arizona, we're big on Jice. Josh Ice, Jice, Jice. But yeah, AZ East Valley Eats, we're blowing up here. Really enjoying it. Never thought like in 1 year I'd be where we're at. So
yeah. Dude, hey, it's funny? You said in Arizona it's Jice. No, bro, in California it was Jice too.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah. No. I forget how many years now that I've been going by Jice, to be honest, because there's still some people all the time, they're like, what's Jice? I'm like, Josh Ice. Jice, duh. Yeah. Like, how y'all not know that? So yeah. I lose track of who knows it and who doesn't know it.
Yeah. No, yeah. So just to backtrack it so everyone knows how I know Jice, it was about like 2018 when I went back to Maricosta. He was at the vet club and he was helping out doing vet club services, and from there was a whole bunch of vet club stuff.
Yeah, we ended up working. You became a coworker.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who got you that job, but like somebody got you the job there and everything like that.
It was literally day 2 of that vet club meeting, and it was oh my God, it was Juan. And Conrad, the president and vice president, going, hey, look, this is our club, vet club, but you know what? We need an ICC.
Yeah, you just need a random. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and no one was wanting that position.
So they voluntold you, basically. Yeah.
Well, no, they didn't volunteer me. They didn't volunteer me because I didn't know anybody, right? So it was dead silent, dude, and I was like, fuck. I'll do it. They're like, who are you?
Yeah, no, for real. I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, nobody knew you.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody knew, but that's how everybody became tight with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, it was cool. That's like kind of our story, how we met and everything. Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Like that, it's not like I didn't meet you on Bumble for Friends or anything like that. So none of the apps. We met naturally in the best way that a lot of people wish they met like this. So yeah, and now here we are, and you're in my state now.
I'm in your state.
Yeah.
And the reason why you came here was because you went from Maricosta to Arizona State University.
Yes, sir.
Graduated there.
Yes, sir. With
your bachelor's in?
So political science was my major. My minor was international relations. Okay. Then I focused a lot on like sustainability and stuff like that. But it's kind of funny because like I don't even really do that anymore. Okay. Like I work in PR.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I work in PR, but like I actually am like contracted by the Army, so I'm still in like that sphere a little bit, but far from it because, I'm contracted at PR work and everything, and then I'm trying to get like the Food Pages gang going and everything like that. If that could pay for the bills one day, that's where I'd love to be instead, And for a little bit it looked like that, but then we lost some partnerships, and then we weren't getting as much money anymore. So for a minute though, it was really looking like the Food Page could pay the bills.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people started backing, like some like we were getting a little bit more corporate, like some of like the partnerships we were getting, and then they started to back out of some of them. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, it looks like I can't quit my day job yet. So I'm like, I'm still stuck working my regular job until that happens.
Dude, yeah, you've been blowing this page up pretty quickly, I would have to say, bro. Before we get into that, we're gonna let everyone know that we spun the wheel of 1,000 drinks, and we're at Courthouse, which is a.
It's it's a bar at the end of the day, but it's a super family friendly bar. My buddy Isaac, I've known him since high school. He owns it, his family owns it and everything, but this is like a very hidden bar in downtown Chandler that I've been coming to for some years now, like at least 2-3 years I've been coming here. And it's just like that spot, like it's a very chill spot and everything like that. And when you ask her like, where can we do it at, right away I'm like, this place. I'm like, this is where I do my charity events and everything, and like my buddies' bands play here and things like that. And it's a really cool spot. At any time this place could have like hundreds of people. Some nights it could be like nobody. It's one of those, like, you never know what you're gonna expect here, but it's always like a good time I find here. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, so yeah, we spun that wheel of 1,000 drinks, ended up here at Courthouse, and we landed on
root beer.
And they don't serve that. So
no.
They don't serve root beer.
Out of all the sodas in the gun, they did not have root beer. That was the one thing that they actually did not have.
But it's okay. We went to the store, got us some root beer. I'm gonna go ahead and pop open the lovely root beer.
You actually had it in the big bottle.
Yes, sir. We had to go big with that. And then I just didn't want to just drink root beer, so we had to make it a float.
The 110 degree kill that a little bit.
It is soft.
There's no softening needed for it at all.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and serve up this root beer float, and then we'll come right back.
That's so funny. I didn't know you got that here. And it's all soft. It's mad soft.
All right, guys. All right, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that B-roll. If I made it, I don't know. We enjoyed that B-roll. This is the root beer float, made with that amazing mug root beer with the dog on the front. We got Courthouse, which actually has like a dog
park right behind us.
Park right there.
There's no dog. Wait, we got one dog. There's one dog. Dogs are getting loose tonight. People are gonna let the dogs out.
For sure, bro. So yeah, cheers on the root beer float.
Cheers.
Trying to down it.
I'm trying to get to the root beer. That root beer is hard to get to.
I know, dude. I was playing myself when I was messing with that ice. I shouldn't have put the ice in there.
Yeah, no, that was the same. I was like thinking about it. I'm like, all right, maybe ice was a bad move.
Yeah, ice was a bad move for sure. You know what? It should have had like a strainer or something.
Yeah. It's a little something, yeah.
A strainer between the root beer and the ice cream. Mm-hmm. That could be a new thing, dude.
You think? Yeah, if you ever get root beer again.
Yeah, so life hack, get yourself a vessel. Get yourself a little vessel with a strainer at the bottom, put your ice, and then, that's how you separate the drink with the ice cream, and then, you can have best of both worlds. So.
How it's funny, I haven't had a root beer float in probably like 10 years.
Dude.
So like it's kind of the tastes that are coming through right now are nostalgic. But at the same time, it's okay because there's a reason why I haven't had a root beer float in like 10 years.
Yeah, bro, I haven't had a root beer float in a long time. I don't even know when the last time I had a root beer float. I like shakes the most, Give me a shake, and I'm good with that.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely played myself with that ice. I almost choked, for sure. But yeah, man. Let's get into AZ East Valley Eats. Because for a long time before, it used to be the unofficial Disney guides.
Yes, yeah, damn. That's wow. I haven't thought about that one. That's been a while. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, bro, and you've taken that whole experience and you've brought it to Arizona, basically for the food and beverage industry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, kind of funny. You were the one that taught me all about like video editing and like sound and everything like that, and honestly just like cinematography and things like that, because at the time I was getting unofficial Disney guides going and I was dating Shay, who sucks, by the way. But no, we actually reconnected like months ago.
Yeah.
Since then we never talked again, but yeah, like her and I, when we were dating, we started because we were going to Disneyland all the time. Mm-hmm. And as a joke, like on my Instagram stories, we were like reviewing churros, kind of like Dave Portnoy would review pizza. You know, it'd be like one bite. You know, everybody knows the rules, kind of thing. But it was about churros because Disneyland would have specialty churros. People just don't really know about it sometimes. So we would do like the churros, and I would like post the like review on like my story. I would like literally start off. I'm like, all right, Shay. I'm like, this is what we got today. Whatever, blah blah blah. And sometimes we'd go to the park. We'd have like 5-6 churros in one day. You know, and we started doing that, and people, like my friends, would just love like the churro reviews out of nowhere. I was just like, I didn't think it'd blow up with my friends like that. And people, like multiple people, would be like, you should like make a Disney page. They're like, we really like eat like all the food you eat and all the posts. So, you know, what started as like a joke, like turned into like a reality. Like our page focused on like merchandise, food, and drink. You know, not necessarily the park itself. Mm-hmm. And then our page started doing really well. At one point, our page like was probably like near 10,000 followers and everything like that. Yeah, and you know, it's kind of funny. I actually went back and checked it out like a couple weeks ago, or like a few weeks ago, and we're like down like 3,000. Like I really like ditched it. All right, these guys don't post anything anymore. But yeah, so that was our niche and everything. But once we started getting like invited to like some like, you know, like things like I remember when like the Star Wars area opened of Disneyland, we got invited to that and everything. So like our page started blowing up there too. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like how it all like my content career started, like as a content creator, and like honestly just like influencing a little bit. But you know, like you'll never like make it with like Disneyland getting paid. You know, like where it's just like, how's this giant corporation, you know, gonna pay me, just like a dude with like 10,000 followers, you know? Yeah. So we were spending a lot of our own money on this stuff, and you know, sometimes we'd get like really cool gigs and things like that, but overall we weren't like getting anything crazy. You know, it was just more of a hobby at that time, and we never thought it would you know, make us like, you know, pay us or anything like that. And you know, but once we started making like YouTube videos and everything, that's when like I reached out to you because I knew you like were really big in the media, like, you know, and just media in general and video editing, and you started helping me with that. And your goal was to like get me to be able to like learn how to video edit on my own, and you did. You taught me a lot with that, and I still do it a lot on my own. But pretty much when I moved back home here to Arizona after living in California, I kind of want to do the same thing. You know, I was just like, I really want to get back into like, I really loved media and video editing. I love being in front of a camera and everything. I like my personality to come through. But I was like, how can I do that? And I identified a gap at the time in the market where I'm like, you know, there's a lot of influencers, but they're not from here. I'm like, we have East Valley and West Valley in Arizona. Okay. And then, I mean, you have Central, like the Phoenix area, but for the most part, it's East and West Valley. And I'm an East Valley boy, like raised. Yeah. And I was just like, you know, there's so many people moving to the East Valley, like literally this is one of the hot spots of the country. And I'm like, but with that means there's so many new restaurants and businesses opening, but I'm like, nobody's like focusing on just the East Valley. I'm like, I'm going to play it till I die that I'm like, I'm a East Valley boy. I'm like, I know this place like the back of my hand. I'm like, I ain't no outsider or anything like that. Right. And then I'm like, I'm going to focus on just the East Valley. Okay. And so I started like, you know, I'm like, I do this all the time anyways. I already go out to eat. So I'm like, might as well make content for the places I'm already at. And so I started doing that. And then it was probably my 4th video. It was actually here in Chandler. I did it like, I identified like, hey, this brewery, it was the first, it was called Bukibishi, Sha Bukibishi, right over there. And they helped me with my career a lot with this. And that they were the first Mexican brewery in the United States, and this was their very first location right here in Chandler. They're award-winning, like they're Mexico's #1 craft brewery. Opened the very first one here in downtown Chandler, and I was the very first one to shoot a video for them. Unsolicited though, they didn't ask. I paid all my own money and everything. Because I was like, this could like change everything right now. I'm like, none of the big creators or anything, like the ones that are successful in Arizona, have tapped into this place yet. I'm like, because they've only been open a few days. So I literally went there and I did it, and I posted the video as quickly as I could and everything like that. And overnight, you know, like it changed the page. Like we were like doing hundreds of thousands of views and everything like that. So it was like I am a bad example of an influencer where I'm like, a lot of influencers post so many videos back and forth. I posted my 4th video and it took off because I identified a gap in the market. I was just like, this place hasn't been hit yet. And, you know, so I hit it, and then next thing I know, like they hit me up. They're like, we'd like you to come back, but we're going to pay for everything. And then from that video did well, that literally more businesses started hitting me up because they're like, oh my gosh, they're like, we see the promotion. So doing this did something that Disneyland was never going to be able to do. Okay. These smaller businesses and everything, that's kind of where I started the page out too, as like this like idea of like, I want to overall help my community that I grew up in. I was like, these small businesses and everything that like, don't get exposure, they don't know how to market themselves or anything. I want to be able to help them. But then I never thought it would literally be what it is now, where, I literally having big restaurants hit me up and things like that, like come to them and like for like influencer nights or like, exclusive like drops, like they're like, we haven't even opened yet, we want you to come and everything like that. So truly, after 4 videos, it was life-changing. And I think the craziest thing is I still post once a week. That's it.
Once a week.
Once a week. Versus it breaks all norms where they're like post, like TikTokers and like influencers are like post as much as possible. No, I literally post once a week. Okay. My like logic with it is like you have quantity versus quality in the influencing world, and I think like when you can take the quantity approach, and yeah, you can post like 5 times in one day, or like say like 6 times in 1 week, and one of those videos is gonna blow up. Maybe some of them don't. But if you post more, it's a quality video that's yourself, and it's like you make a connection with the people and everything, then that's gonna get you further than quantity videos and everything like that. Like, I'm not gonna be honest, like all the stuff you taught me about video editing, I don't even use it in my videos. Like my videos are poorly edited now. Like, they're not, the quality's gone up a little bit, like don't get me wrong, like the quality's gone up depending on the place we're at and everything like that, but some of my most successful videos are literally me in my car, like Keith Leeing it.
Really?
Just like doing a Keith Lee type thing and just doing hard splits.
Okay.
Just like hard cuts, and that's it. That's my trend. There's no transitions. Like I'm just splitting every segment, and then that's it. Every now and then I'll throw a cool little like transition, or like how I like maneuver the camera or something like that.
But it doesn't do no ROI to that. No ROI.
No,
that's nuts.
Nothing at all. It's just hard cuts. That's it. And so like truly, like when I tell people, I'm like, like cool editing and everything, and like sound can get you further. I'm like, sometimes just being yourself is gonna get you further, and that's what my page has done for me, is just being myself, connecting with the people, and like actually showing like, hey, I'm from here and I care about like these businesses and everything like that. I think that's gotten me further than anything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's crazy. So yeah, I thought about how your brand has been moving, and when you shared your page to me, you had like 48 followers. And now it's like at 8,900, almost 9,000.
We're almost 10,000. We're getting close. Yeah. And that's in 1 year. 1 year posting once a week.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Posting once a week. That's the craziest thing, I think, where it's like, like I don't pay attention because I work a regular job still. Like, I don't pay attention to this page. Like I do, but I'm like, whereas people have more time as influencers, that put way more work into it. I don't even do that, And so yeah, it truly was like just. It gets slower at times, but then it picks up out of nowhere that like I've known some influencers here that I'm good with that they've had their page for 4 or 5 years, and they have like 3,000, 4,000 followers, and they just never broke that next barrier.
I mean, I only have 200 followers, so
all it takes is one video. That's what I tell everybody.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I was thinking when you started the page and you're running, you're doing all your videos, I was thinking about the expansion, like what happens if you already went through all the businesses in East Valley? Are you going to go to West Valley, Central? Are you going to change the name? What do you think is going to happen?
It's funny you bring that up, because a lot of people, when they're like, why are you doing like AZ East Valley Eats, you're like limiting yourself to just being like this East Valley boy. Like that's like since we blew up, like the name didn't matter anymore. It was just like your engagement and reach, So like I'm literally more places than ever. Actually, I'm doing downtown Phoenix, so not East Valley. I even a couple days ago, this was probably the first West Valley so far. I mean, we're talking like 30, 45 minutes away, that reached out to me. They're like, hey, we want you to come do a brunch. For us, and it's like all paid, whatever, blah blah blah, like you and bring as many people as you want, and so that's kind of where we're at now. Is we are no longer East Valley. We've expanded well beyond the East Valley, to the downtown area, to the west side area, and everything like that. And so yeah, at first we did like kind of limit ourselves to the East Valley and stuff, but then I think like the success of the page, you know, these businesses like look past that. They're like, who cares if it just says East Valley? You know, like people will travel if you market it correctly.
Got it.
Like I had a buddy, I did literally this Hawaiian food joint just like right here. They didn't like I wasn't paid, or I used my own money and everything to get them, but I just really liked this place that I was like, I don't really want to do a video for them. And I had people that told me they drove all the way like 45 minutes for this place and everything. So you know, it just shows like, you know, like people are going to travel. It doesn't matter if it's on the east side, the west side, whatever. We do have like a little like, it's kind of like that like beef a little bit, you know, here, like where it's just like the East Valley and the West Valley, we don't like mesh kind of thing. Like we're different people, but like for food, you know, that's kind of like the like one of the
that's Switzerland.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So like, you know, like I think the where we all come together and we'll travel distances or whatever is with food. It's crazy. So like to kind of like circle back is, the East Valley doesn't mean anything anymore. Like in my name, that doesn't mean anything.
You know, what would be a dope video? It would be a dope video to have someone that actually runs a AZ West Valley Eats page, right? and then y'all like come together and it's like a beef, like right? And then y'all see a food place. Like,
it's almost like that picture like back in like the 90s where like in LA the Bloods and the Crips, you know, where like they tied the bandanas together. Like that, it's almost like that. But yeah, it's like West Valley, East Valley.
Yes.
Like it's one of those. But you know, it's funny. I check all the time. Nobody has done AZ West Valley Eats yet. Nobody has. I check every now and then because it's funny you mentioned that, because I'm like, it'd be smart to like ride on that like a little bit. You know, yeah. Nobody take that. I'm gonna go make a page tonight. I'm like, just so I take the name.
You make a clone of yourself.
Yeah. So like if you do a AZ West Valley Eats now, it's gonna have to be like Eats. Like it's gonna have like
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, like 3 S's or something like that. That's gonna be their way that they're gonna bypass me.
Yeah.
Overall, I know you've only been here for like a day or two. What are your overall thoughts about like Arizona and the lifestyle here? Minus the weather, I get it. The weather is not great right now, but minus the weather.
It's actually it actually gives me San Diego vibes in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like the whole atmosphere, the vibe, everything out here is pretty cool. Like it's not bad. We're downtown. There's like a lot of trees, a lot of life. Like there's a lot of movement. There's some farmers market maybe thing what's going on.
Yeah. We're big on our farmers markets here and everything like that. Like Saturdays, like especially when the weather's good and everything. Yeah. There's like a few things Arizonans do really well. This is like the brunch capital of the country. Like when I thought people like I went to California, people would be like good about brunch. I'm like, no, brunch here is like an all day like. Brunch isn't just going out to brunch. Brunch is a excuse to go drink for hours and everything like that. Like you almost like bar hop from brunch. Like brunch is just a starting spot, you know, versus like when I was in California, you have breakfast and you call it brunch and you have like some drinks there and then you go home. But no, it's like the start of an all day like marathon here. So like, and that's the thing, like we like love our patios and everything here. So, you know, once the weather's good and everything, brunch, it gets crazy. Like brunch spots here, like some of them are like a straight club.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like there's like Hash Kitchen. Love you guys, by the way. Hash Kitchen. They like straight up like they have a DJ like inside, just like a DJ playing and everything, and it's like gets wild in there, you know. It's loud. It's not like if you want a nice quiet like breakfast, this is not the place. And there's a lot of places like that in Arizona where you just don't like it's not chill breakfast. You have your chill breakfast places, but if you like go to a brunch place, it's gonna be like fun. But that's like one thing Arizonans do really well. The other things, farmers markets. It's like the cool thing to do in Arizona, you know. It's like Saturday mornings, like it's almost like a bragging right to be like, yeah, I went to the farmers market.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like one of those things. It's like like almost like you're almost like looked down on if you don't go to a farmers market. It's like, which farmers market do you go to? And it's almost like I'm better than you, because like people are like, well, I go to like the Uptown farmers market, and they're like, oh well, I go to the Scottsdale farmers market. You know, it's like wild. It's one of those things. We have tons of farmers markets, and then run clubs. Run clubs are like
They're booming, bro.
In Arizona, like they did run clubs here throughout the summer still when it was like 110, 112 out, you know. I mean, it's they were like, hey, we're going to meet at 7 p.m. when it's like cooler out. It's still like 108, you know, and everything like that.
That's wild.
And so like the run clubs, I mean, it's kind of it's just the modern. It's the in-person dating app. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Run clubs are booming in Cali too. Like I see them everywhere.
Yeah,
now. I'm actually gonna do one next Saturday.
Oh, really? It's first one?
First one.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Nobody Cares Run Club.
I actually thought about this recently. I'm like, if you want to have a successful like Instagram page or like TikTok or something, take the name of the city you live in and put Run Club after it.
Yeah. Yes.
You will actually get going pretty well.
They have one in Oceanside called South O Run Club.
Oh, so they split it even, like, because Oceanside always have that divide where like I'm South O, where I'm like, okay, it's still Oceanside. I'm like, you're basically your Carlsbad. But that's funny that they like split it where they're like, we're not just the Oceanside Run Club. We're South Oceanside. Oh, South O.
South O.
That's the thing. Oh, that's right. You never called yourself South Oceanside. You said I'm South O.
Or you say from O side, you know.
Yeah, or the O side. Yeah, and that kind of said a lot if you're like I'm from O side.
Yeah, I just found this out because I started going to like other coffee shops and breweries trying to get some content for the page. Mm-hmm. South O Brewing is where they start their runs at. South O.
Really?
Brewing. Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's. How old's that place?
I have no idea.
Because I was going to say, I'm like, so funny when I was living in San Diego, and my ex-girlfriend and I, our thing was like breweries. We love breweries.
Really?
That we made a list of every brewery in San Diego County, and I think it was like 268. That's what we got to. I mean, it's like one of the breweries capitals of the country. We got through like 60-something of them, but which is incredible when you really think about it. But it was like truly like when you think about how many there are. This is a good example where I'm like, is that new? Because that was not on the list, and then I don't think it was. And I swear we would get to some of them, and it's already closing down. Like it would shut down before it even got going. We had a running joke. It's like for every one brewery that would close down, 2 more would open up. And by the time you get to those 2, they're closed down. You know, like the idea of successful brewery is hard when you have like some of the biggest breweries in the country in San Diego. The brewery scene here in Arizona is not like the same, in my opinion, as it is in California. Arizona is still like very much one of those states where it's like people are like, why don't you just drink like a Bud Light or like a Coors Light, something like that. It's not because we're not a craft beer capital. You know, we're not like San Diego. We're not like Portland or something like that, or Seattle. Yeah, there's like a fat muscle car right outside this gate.
Yeah. Are they? I wonder if they're trying to find parking and or if they're stopped at the stop sign.
He's trying to probably parallel park, but can't do it. Oh, no, he gave up. I think he's turning around. Yep.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. But seeing that's where I was saying, I'm like, everything like starts picking up here now. There's like a bunch of people. We got sirens,
there's
you know.
A lot of activity
there's
going
a lot of activity, you know. Downtown Chandler, it's kind of fun nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, no, Arizonans would kill me if I recruited like Californians to come move here. I'm like, this is your chance to like say how great Arizona is. Dude. Versus so many Arizonans are like, stop moving here. They're like, traffic's getting bad. Like literally, like I used to be able to go across the valley from like the east side to the west side, basically to the edge of the desert on our way to California. Take you like 40 minutes. That shit takes you like an hour and some change now. Like just like put how many people's moved here. It is like they've like referred to Phoenix as like the new LA.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, like because it's like the sheer amount of people moving here. It's just so busy, and our freeways are like never meant to hold this many people, you know. And then like, you know, it's kind of like same thing with LA. Like we don't have enough houses that we're building up, not neighborhoods anymore, you know. So it's getting busy down here.
Yeah.
It's getting busy. Where I'm just lucky that like I bought when I did, because I'm like I probably wouldn't have been able to buy anything else. Which is one reason why I left California, is I'm like, I'm not going to be able to buy anything here. You know, I'm like, not till I'm like 40 years old. And so then when I came here, and then now I'm like, damn, it's getting busy here too now. I'm like, I might have to move to Texas or something.
Dang. Well, I mean, they're getting busy. Everywhere is getting busy,
man.
bro.
Yeah, it is.
Because California is so expensive.
California's moving out of there, and then like we get a lot of Midwest people here. That's like what it is they want to escape the winter, so they buy like a part-time house here. So my neighborhood, literally, my 4 neighbors, none of them live there.
Interesting.
They're all from Minnesota and Chicago. and so like it's funny. I'll know they're back in town because all the like the Bears flags go up, and like all the like the Minnesota Vikings flags go up, and I'm like, oh, they're back in town.
Yeah.
But like then once the temperatures start going up, like after like spring, they're out.
That's wild.
So they spend like 5 months here, and then they're out for 7 months, and that's like so common in Arizona right now. It's just like all these Midwest people move here.
So they're making Arizona like the new Florida.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the thing. How I put it is like, so everybody that lives on the East Coast and like like Maine all the way down to like let's say like like New York area. So like all the cold states, like
Minnesota,
New England,
Wisconsin.
yeah. So like the Midwest folks, so like Minnesota. Arizona is the Florida to them.
Got it.
Yeah. So versus Florida, yeah, that's where you go to retire and like spend your summers and things, or your winters and things like that. If you're on the East Coast, Arizona is that to your Midwest people. They all like the Dakotas, so South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Hey, you know everybody.
Oh, I'm embedded here. Like I have a lot of. I also have a lot of girlfriends that are like from the Midwest that like they're all like Dakotas and everything like that, and I'm like, they all say beg.
Beg.
Yeah, they're like, hey, hand me that beg. That's like how all my friends talk, because I'm like none of my friends are from here anymore. Like, because my friends that are still here, they don't go out or anything like that. So my new friends, like my newer friends, none of them are from here. That they're like almost shocked that they're like, you're from Arizona? I'm like, yeah. You just don't get it. It's almost kind of like in California, the same thing. Like a lot of times you don't ever run into people from California, like at least in the city you're at. Like to be like you, you're an Oceanside person.
Yes.
Versus a lot of people though, like all our friends from your coast and things like that. Nobody was like from Oceanside. That's kind of the thing. It's rare to come across an Oceanside person. So like here in Arizona, it's like you can be from Arizona. It's like, but yeah, where now? If you say you're from Arizona, it's like, oh, well, I moved from like a city, like, an hour away to like the big city. Like a lot of people from Arizona do that, but a lot of people have moved away from Arizona, and like everybody that now lives here, the young crowd especially, like in Scottsdale and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not from here. That's
wild.
So it's kind of funny. I always latch on to people that aren't, that when I find out, I'm like, you're from here? And then they're like, yeah. And then I'm like, no way. I'm like, I am too. And it's like actually a huge like connection point, because you just don't get that here anymore.
Dang.
Yeah. Quite crazy actually.
So real quick, when you're not doing your page and doing your 9 to 5, what do you like to do?
So I said I don't look it, but I'm actually pretty old.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 31, but I mean, I look pretty good for 31. Two things: drink a lot of seltzers if you're gonna drink. Like stay away from beer if you're gonna like want to look like this at 31. And then 2, pick a sport that like makes you skinny. Like I'm skinny now because I play tennis.
Oh.
I play a lot of tennis.
Okay.
And I hate to admit, but I play pickleball too.
Okay. You hate to admit that. That's the newest thing, bro.
That's the cool thing and everything like that. But like as a tennis player and like the tennis community and the pickleball community have this like
East meets West, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. It's another one of those rivalry things, that I'm like. It's like all the tennis players play pickleball secretly, but they don't want to like admit that they're like, I play pickleball.
That's
so like it's one of those things. But yeah, that's what I do. I play a lot of pickleball. I play a lot of tennis on the side, and I'm like, helps me look young still and everything like that. So I'm like, it's 2 for 1.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, it's hard during the summer here to do a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But when the weather is good, like I love to hike. I love to do tennis. I like to do pickleball. I like to do pickleball. And, one of the big things, though, the problem here in Arizona is, like, where during the summer, we're like bar goers, because when it's hot outside, you go to where the AC is. And what that means is, like, kind of restaurants and bars, or if you're not staying at home, that's kind of the thing. But then, yeah, otherwise, like, I live a pretty, like my life's kind of a reality show nowadays, not gonna lie. It's a lot of like, especially as an influencer, it's a lot of going out. It's a lot of like inviting people out, a lot of long, late nights and things like that. Mm-hmm. But then managing that with a 9 to 5 gets very interesting, especially when some of these places want me to like come out like on a weekday.
Yeah.
So I do that, but so like balancing, like honestly, the key to it is like sleep only 5 hours a day. So sleep 5 hours a day, so that way you can make room for all the activities. That's where I tell people, I'm like, I probably play daily like 3 hours of tennis, but then I also like go out, and then I also have my regular job, and I'm like, sleep 5 hours, you'll be all right. And then I go to the gym too before all of that. So then I'm like, yeah, like they're like, how do you have time to do all that? I'm like, sleep 5 hours.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's it. There's no other secret. Just sleep 5 hours. But yeah, I mean, Arizona is like, I think the biggest misconception about Arizona is there's nothing to do here. I think you just have to like really open up, like, you know, your like the lifestyle, like what you want to do, because we have so much hiking here. We have so much outdoor activities, whether it's like dirt biking or like trail running, something like that. I mean, you could be a bird watcher. My buddy, literally, he bird watches. And I've gone with him once. I'm like, this is actually pretty nice. This is pretty peaceful, you know. And then like now that like I think a lot of people have moved here, there's so many companies coming out here to like build stuff. Like we have a new theme park opening on the west side and things like that. We have,
that's not a like a state fair. That's an actual
no. The state fair is here. Right?
Oh,
The
okay.
state fair is awful here. Never go to that. Like,
poppin'.
having gone to like the San Diego County Fair for years. Oh my God, it puts to shame our fair. Oh, it's terrible. Our fair is terrible.
It looks so good off the freeway.
But when you get there, no, it's bad. It's bad. You don't want to hang out there. I'm like, I tell everybody, I'm like, how much you're gonna spend there? You might as well go to Disneyland. Like bite the bullet and spend a little bit more for Disneyland for a better experience. That's why I say I'm like, it's just not worth it at the county fair, or the state fair. So. Yeah, I mean, but all these companies coming out here, they've built so much. There's so much to do out here, you know. Really, there really is. But I think people get caught up with the idea that all we have to do out here is drink, because it's it's hot and it's a big culture out here. It's like Scottsdale is known as like the bachelor and bachelorette party, or capital of the country. Aside from like Vegas and like Nashville, Scottsdale is one of the biggest ones too. So it just gets wrapped up with like everybody gets wrapped up in this idea of like Scottsdale. Like everybody that moves here, they're like Scottsdale. Yeah, I've been to Scottsdale. That they think like drinking's everything, but we have so much to offer here. Honestly, man, like especially if you're an outdoors person. And if you're not, you're going to become an outdoors person, because that's like a big part of what we do here. Hiking's cool. Like to hike's cool. It's not just like a leisurely thing. It's like what mountain did you hike this weekend, or whatever, or like what trail did you do? Like it's a big thing to be a hiker out here.
So Arizona 101 is join a run club.
Yes.
Go to farmer markets.
Yes.
And do some hikes.
Yeah, become a hiker. Especially so I that's almost like a guide to
it's
also
a prerequisite.
Yes, like if you're going to do that, I mean, you're going to become it anyways, but that's also like a guide to like, hey, how to stay off dating apps and how to meet people. Join one of the three things here. And because that's like that is like how every single person here in Arizona does it anyways. And then I mean, you'll meet really cool people at those anyways, or at those kind of events anyways, and things like that. And it really is because, like I was saying earlier, there's so many people that aren't from here that are like trying to meet people, but they don't know how, and they join these clubs, and because these clubs have a lot of people that they have the same idea, and that's how they're going to meet people and things like that. So Arizona's thriving in that way. When I was a teenager growing up here, we didn't really have that. We didn't have anything like that. Like we just party at ASU and things like that, and or have house parties and things. But now there's so much to do here. Arizona's really thriving. Arizona's a great place to be at. Honestly, it's like once I moved from California, miss California, but I won't look back. Like I really do love being back home in Arizona and everything, and what this place has to offer, and what it's done for my life as a food influencer. I can't look at that versus in California. There's like a million people that think they're influencers there. That like I can't say what my life would have been like if I tried to be an influencer in California.
Right.
I mean, I got a little lucky with the Disney one, but here, I think like overall this is really like I can make something out of it here that I wouldn't have been able to in California.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, being back here for the last few years in Arizona. And even though it's hot, I always say heat is a mindset. It's all mental. I tell everybody, whenever you step outside, all you gotta tell yourself is, I wish it were hotter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 114 degrees. I'm like, I wish it were hotter. It sucks, don't get me wrong, but I'm just gonna trick my mind into being like, it's not that hot. It's not that hot. I wish it were hotter.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, though.
Hell yeah, bro. Shit, dude. You dropped a lot of knowledge bombs right here.
Yeah. I can talk a storm. I
feel like, dude, honestly, when you asked me that question, what we saw over here, I'm not gonna say we were looking at houses, but I'm not gonna say we were, because I don't want y'all to think Californians are coming, but
I'll give you the pass. As a native Arizonan, I'm allowed to give out some passes. So I'll give you a pass.
Arizona Cardinals. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and wrap this podcast. Go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you and where they can follow you.
Yes, sir. So again, find me on my Instagram at AZ East Valley Eats, where we're posting once a week. Only once a week. I was gonna say we're posting all the time. We're not. We're posting once a week. But I swear, if you follow me, good stuff there and everything like that. Especially if you ever want to visit Arizona, I try to message everybody back, but hit me up at AZ East Valley Eats. We got some big things in the works too. We're trying to get our podcast. I talked to you about that a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Still trying. I'm not gonna drop the name of it because I don't want anyone to steal it. But I think it's a really good podcast idea. But so if you follow me there, stay tuned for the podcast and everything. But yeah, AZ East Valley Eats on Instagram and then TikTok. And yeah.
All right, for sure. Hell yeah. Well, thanks, bro,
right,
for joining the pod,
I appreciate you having me. Absolutely, sir.
This has been the Beverage Club special with Josh Ice, a.k.a. Jice. Don't kill me for not saying it the first time because that's how we say your name in Arizona and California.
Yes. Yeah, and California.
Yeah, so remember, every day we drink responsibly.
Yes, sir.